Hey witches, this is Hekterios. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, I got a request by a couple people to do a tarot reading on Donald Trump, basically, as the President of the United States. So, I'm going to go ahead and go forward with that. And I'm just going to be asking for general information, insight, and guidance of, Donald Trump's America. Okay. So we will see what happens with this. I do want to say, though, before I actually read the cards, what I'm energetically feeling. Honestly, I don't feel too much negative energy around him, or just energetically speaking, with his aura, at the energy level. Okay, I'm not talking about his personality or ego. I'm talking about at the energy level. I don't honestly feel any malicious spiritual attachments or energies with him. I think that the process of his campaign, or at least, at the very end of it, and, actually becoming the President of the United States, I think that in some ways that process humbled him and possibly, what is the word? Just humbled his ego. Okay. And I did watch the inauguration, and honestly, I could sense a lot of fear in his energy field. I could see it in his eyes and his aura, and that type of pressure and responsibility, and ritual ceremony before all of those people and stuff like that. It's a different thing from just being famous, because he was already a celebrity with lots of attention, but going through a ceremony like that, accepting all of that responsibility, that is a humbling process, okay? And it really sort of puts your ego in check. And what's funny is before, the night before his inauguration, Hekterios showed me a dream of the goddess Kali basically trampling, dancing on Trump's body. And goddess Kali is the destroyer of ego. She's the liberator from it. So, this is kind of just intuitive guidance and speculation on my part as far as just what I think based on my intuitive guidance and insight as an empath and psychic. But I just want to be clear that some of this is also speculation based on that, okay? So, once again, that's why I'm going to do the cards, because there's no opinion in the cards or speculating, okay? It's just, it gives it to you straight and raw. But I do want to add one more thing, and a lot of people are saying in the occult community that this is the year of Goddess Kali. I think I agree with that based off of, if you've been watching my Hekterios Oracles videos, you know, this year is going to be one of dramatic transformation. In many ways, last year, 2016, was also a year of dramatic transformation, but it was more in a destructive aspect. I feel that we've crossed a threshold into this new year, and it's moving on from the destructive aspect of transformation more into the building up aspect of transformation. Now, I already told y'all in my 2017 prophecy video, or prophecies video, that this year will still contain chaos. But once again, as Hecate returns, there will be less and less chaos, or it will become more controlled. Okay? So, just to reiterate that, I think that that's important to remember as we go forward into this reading about Donald Trump's America, because, you know, those are already prophecies from the goddess Hecate. Can't ignore those. And so this year will be still chaotic, more here towards the beginning, but as it proceeds towards July, it will become more controlled, or it will just become lesser chaos. And that type of thing, okay? So now we will proceed with the reading. Now I align myself with the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, Hecate. Please communicate the truth to me through this guidance, so that I may be guided to the highest good of all. Thank you, and so let it be. Please give us your divine guidance and insight about Donald Trump and his vision for America, as well as how things will progress over this next year. Thank you, and so let it be. One more thing I should have added at the beginning of this, where I was talking about how Goddess Kali is the destroyer of ego. And in that sense, everything happens for a reason. And I think that we will see that Donald Trump is going to be used by the higher power. Okay? So just keep that in mind as well. The very first card that we have, representing us, the American people, is the Hearthstone. So this is an energy of the soul being reborn. Go figure. Goddess Hecate, world souls return this year. I think in many ways Donald Trump represented the collective ego of our nation. In that way, he is a symbol. Okay? He's a symbol of the collective ego of our nation as a whole. And when we're doing shadow work, that's about confronting the ego in order to integrate it and overcome it. So, Donald Trump is a reflection of the damaged parts of this country. And by being put in a position of leadership, authority, recognition, acknowledgement, this country's flaws have been exposed. And that is a necessary part of healing. That's how the status quo gets changed. That's what Goddess Kali does. She exposes the ego so that it can be fixed. The light can only come after darkness, or because of darkness. Light comes out of darkness. Healing comes out of sickness or injury. There's not one without the other. So this is a rebirth of the soul of our nation on many levels. It's a healing process. The card for the present atmosphere, the moon card. This is energy of darkness, unknown, mystery, and the fears that come with that, the worries and concerns. It's not as bad as you think. Intuition, the powers of spirit, magic, the higher power, the goddess, she guides her way through it. All you have to do is trust your own inner intuition. Well, we each have to do that as a collective. And she will illuminate the path forward, okay? Don't give in to the fear of the unknown. Embrace it as a mystery and as a learning process. Trust your intuition. Let it guide you through. Let your connection to spirit guide you. The crossing card is the Knight of Swords. Now this represents rushing into battle. But it also represents swift progress towards goals. In the crossing position, it's coming as a warning. Don't rush into things. Think things through. Cross your T's and dot your I's. Know your plans. A lot of forethought is necessary. Don't be reckless. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't assume. So with this card coming up in the crossing position, I'm thinking, take it slow, take it easy, take it day by day. Beneath us, the Knight of Coins. This is representing advice. What's going to be important going forward is to view this as a learning process. This card is about practical energy, practicality. It's a very earthy energy, down to earth. What's important at the practical level, what works and what doesn't. Learning what works and what doesn't. About ourselves, about our country. About the way that we as individuals approach things, and as a collective, and in different groups. There's a lot of learning that needs to be done. and a lot of growth. In the past position, we have the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords is a card in an energy of limitation, binding. It's almost like a binding. And more than anything, it's caused by your own indecision and your own failure to choose something, to make a determined choice. So it's an energy of, well, it's really a diffuse energy, a scattered energy. You can't decide, you're confused, you're indecisive. So there's no forward movement. So we're coming out of that energy. And that could only mean that things will progress now. Things will change. There's forward movement again. Now, I feel like this card's also saying sometimes it's okay to not make a decision. Sometimes it's okay to stay contemplative, but still go forward anyways. You don't have to play in the realm of absolutes all the time. It's okay to stay in gray areas and still go forward. A lot of growth can come from that, actually. Crowning us is the Five of Coins. So this is representing major advice from Goddess Hekate. Don't be negative. Don't waste your mental energy on negative, on dwelling on negatives. Don't focus on what's wrong. Don't focus on what you don't have. Don't focus on what's missing. The only time you need to look at what's wrong is from a mindset of what is the solution to this, not just to dwell on the negatives just for the sake of dwelling on it. Self-pity, whining, all of that type of stuff is a waste of your energy, and it actually attracts more of what you don't want to you by staying in that vibration. And it just looks bad. Other people who see you acting like that, who feel that energy from you when you're dwelling in it, are actually repelled. And it attracts to you people who are on that same vibration. So you see how nothing can get better. It will either stay the same or get worse if you stay dwelling in that type of energy. It's okay to vent, it's okay to express yourself, but move past it. It's okay to acknowledge flaws, but grow, change, make solutions. Keep a progressive mindset. That is important. Very important. going forward at the individual level and at the level of as a country, okay? In the future position is the Six of Swords. I love this card. First of all, I love the image on this deck of this woman astral projecting. Beautiful. But the Six of Swords energy is moving past a negative situation, taking yourself through your own will, through your own determined action, through your own choice, taking yourself out of a negative situation and moving past it, moving on to something better. Okay? This is a very powerful card to meditate on or to use in ritual. Donald Trump's inauguration speech, he was talking about giving the power back to the people. Okay? Whether if you believe him or not, that's not the point. What he was saying is an important message, though. The people truly do have all the power. We always have. Rulers and leaders are actually supposed to be the servants of the people. And if they fail to do so, we don't whine about it. We don't go into this self-pity. Leaders are not our saviors. Okay, they're our servants. And if they're not serving the people who have the power, they don't need to whine. They don't need to be self-pitying. They also don't need to be destructive and blaming the leaders. Okay? You only blame a leader if you were looking to them to be your savior, if you were already weak and pathetic already, inherently, and you wanted them to save you because you're too weak and pathetic to save yourself. Okay? You have the power. We all do. Group together with others of a like mind and make your own solutions. Don't wait for someone to come along and save you. Don't wait for President Trump to save you. Don't wait for any politics to save you. You are the one that has the power. We all are. Group together with other people of a like mind and make your own solutions to things. You can do it. Be determined. In the persona is the World card. So this is like the attitude that we all need going forward. The World card is a card of culmination and graduation, moving on to the next level, the higher level. it's a rebirth in that sense. It's a transformation. This is like the type of transition of becoming an adult from being a child type of thing. Becoming an elder after being an adult. Okay, this is major shifts like that. So, this is claiming responsibility for yourself, for your country. This is you need to be the one that does something. And if you don't, then you have no business whining about the lack of positive changes. That just makes you pathetic, okay? Do not do that. You need to take the power, you need to claim the power, and you need to make the changes that you want to see in the world. And if you don't, and you just whine about it, that tells a lot about you as a person. Claim your power. Claim your authority. Work together with other people. Make things happen. And there's a high potential for that to go down this year. There's a lot of power behind it because that's actually how we're all supposed to be living anyways, okay? The next card is the Knight of Cups, and this represents how other people see us. Our country is going on a completely new adventure. This is something 100% totally new for the country. And of course, anytime that there's a new adventure, there's potential for failure, but there's also a lot of potential for success. So what you make of it. This is your journey. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to make of it? Are you going to sit there and let it all be determined for you and whine about it because it's not how you want it to be? Or are you going to take this adventurous spirit and this power and go forward and make the most of it? What are you going to do? Don't look to other people as saviors. It's always been about you and what you do with the energy and the environment and the people in your life. It doesn't matter what kind of a situation you're thrown in. Okay, that's fate. What matters is your reaction to it. How smart are you? Can you be thrown into a situation and quickly figure out how things work and make the most of that for your own success? Are you adaptable to things? When this card comes up, there is a great opportunity here. A lot of times, destruction and chaos and crisis is at the same time a fertile environment for creating things that are absolutely new and extremely beneficial for yourself and a lot of other people. Like I said at the beginning of this reading, light comes out of darkness. When there's a great need for something, amazing, miraculous things are created out of that time of need. The ancient Greeks said that need compels the gods to act. Okay. And the hopes and fears is the Four of Cups. The energy of this card is looking at the past, feeling sad, looking at everything that's been lost, feeling bad about it, and in so doing, you're missing the present opportunities. Don't be that type of person. Stay in the present moment, take it day by day. Stay aware of the opportunities that are around you. There is opportunities for growth, for success, for healing, for love, for new adventures, for financial gain. There's a lot of good opportunities. That doesn't go away just because the leader, the so-called leader of the country, changes. There's always going to be chances for failure and success, no matter who the president is. Okay, it's you that is the important factor in how you handle things, how you're adaptable or how you cling to the past. The past is gone, only the present exists. So if you're clinging to the past, you're actually living in a delusion because it doesn't exist anymore. All that exists is the present moment. Okay. The final card is the Two of Cups. So here we have a rebalancing, a reunion. Energies coming into harmony because of the force of love, true emotional connection to others, to ourselves, to our country, to the divine. When I look at this entire spread, it comes full circle to how I started this whole reading. Okay. Donald Trump is a catalyst. He's a symbol that is acting as a catalyst for change. So in that sense, there's positive aspects to this. A wound can only be healed when you acknowledge that there is a wound, that it needs to be cleaned, stitched up or whatever it is, and healed. Okay? So, get out of the whole self-pity thing. Get out of the victim mentality. Get out of this mindset that you're being oppressed. The only person that has true power to oppress you is your own self, because your mind is the greatest power that exists. How you think about things reflects how you think about yourself, okay? If you view yourself as weak and powerless, you're doing that to yourself. And as a result, you're going to view yourself as a victim. Okay? If you view yourself as powerful and divine, then you already know that it does not matter who the fuck is the president. Or, it doesn't matter. All that matters is you and what you are doing with your life. So, with Donald Trump being the sort of mirror of the ego of our country, of the shadow of our country, once again, as I had talked about before in my past video about shadow work, people deal with shadow work in some different ways. Either you work through it, or you don't. Okay? When the shadow is exposed, you can resist it. You can resist changing. You can resist overcoming it. You can stay in the mindset of self-pity or rejecting that you are the one that has the power to change it. You can oppress yourself, which actually just makes the shadow stronger. Or you can claim that responsibility. You can claim that power. And you can take the shadow as a source of wisdom, because whenever you are sick, your body gives you symptoms. It's giving you signs that something is wrong. Based on those signs, you can treat the sickness and heal it. So, when you're looking at the shadow, the ego, you can be scared of it and do nothing and just be defeated mentally and thus physically. Or you can see it as, there's information coming to me from this. How am I going to use that information to fix it? Okay. So, as a whole, with this entire reading, Donald Trump's America is one in which the collective soul is being stimulated. What are you going to do with that? Are you going to sit here and be a victim and do nothing? Or Or are you going to take that power and responsibility, come together with other people of like minds, work on some things? You be the change that you want to see. You be the catalyst of the positive growth. Donald Trump is the catalyst of showing us what's wrong. Are you going to be a victim, or are you going to be a catalyst for the positive growth and change? I'm not talking about protesting and rioting and destructive things that come from a victim mindset, a weak mindset. Okay, you don't need to battle the establishment. That's not the answer. Instead, focus your energies on, just ignore the politics altogether. Ignore the establishment altogether. Focus on creating your own establishment, politics, groups, changes. Okay? That's where your energy needs to be focused in, towards creating what you want, either on your own or with people of a like mind. Okay? People like Donald Trump and politics, they're given more power by our attention to them, to their ways of doing things. If you withdraw that attention, put it towards what you're doing, either in your own life or with other people, that's what you're giving power to. Movement and energy. Don't waste your energy in opposing something that you don't agree with. Focus your energy on building what you want. Okay? So I think that's going to cover it for this reading. I've already gone on for 47 minutes, 48 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. But, hopefully this has given you an insight and some true wisdom and guidance. Okay? So, make the best of it. As always, you're the one that is the power in your life. So what are you going to do with this energy? Okay? We are being plunged into a time of transformation, transitional energy. What are you going to make of that? I leave you with that question. All right, y'all. Blessed be.